Hi everyone, Chris here, and welcome back to Guvsk, our attempt to build a Soviet model city based on the urban planners of the former USSR. The series that will not die, despite my computer really struggling with it now and again. You join me today as I try and make a start on Guvsk Polytechnic, a university area that's been planned since the very beginning of the series when we planned out the entire layout of this city. It's an area that, if I'm honest, I'm really struggling for inspiration on. You'll see the buildings that I've laid down. These buildings are actually my own design, Guvsk Polytechnic. You can find this building on the Steam Workshop. And if I'm completely honest, at the moment, most of my inspiration is coming on building buildings in Blender and making assets for City Skylines. When it comes to actually building a city, I am horrible at it. I am terrible, and I'm really struggling. I don't know if I need like a break from thinking about it, or I need to find some new inspiration, or what. Or maybe it's just that I can see so many people doing much better jobs, and kind of I'm living vicariously through them using my buildings. I don't know. Either way, I really want to finish Guvsk. I want to finish all the areas that were planned out, and at least get this to a point where it's a finished project, even if it isn't the best city in the world. I want to finish this project, and that's what I'm trying to do. I think I'll need your help, if honest, for inspiration on what to look at for university campuses within the former Soviet Union, because, I don't know, I'm struggling. Let me talk a bit about this episode then, what you're seeing. You're going to see me build this big research building, and you're going to see me like expand this tiny little area. And then in this episode, there's a few cinematics. I've got some long trailing camera shots of the city so far. It's a little bit of a different episode where we've not started with cinematics. We are just going straight into the build, and then some longer things at the end. You will see. I've put down these buildings. I've curbed off the area. I've put some fences down, and here I'm trying to make a bust of Lenin, which I do, and it takes me ages. I've kept this footage in because I spent a good while doing this, but I then later on, at the very end of this video, I had been working on for some time a bust of Karl Marx, which I feel I've always wanted one in a Soviet build. It just seems like something that's needed, a Karl Marx statue. And with the help of Peter Barr of the Steam Workshop, who is a fantastic asset maker, I was able to finally capture the textures and stuff that I need for this model. So Lenin is here for the time being, but halfway through making this build, or rather at the end of it, was actually at the end of filming everything, I made this Karl Marx statue. And so the last bit of footage you'll see is me going in, deleting this Lenin head that I spent ages on, and replacing it with a Karl Marx statue, which looks 1,000 times better, I've got to be said. That being said, I like the idea of a of a Vladimir Lenin bust, and I'm quite tempted to make one for the Steam Workshop. If you think that's something you'd like for your Soviet build, let me know and I'll happily do it. It'll probably get disliked a lot because, you know, Lenin and Marx are regarded as controversial figures, I guess, across the world. Certainly the Karl Marx statue has had some interesting comments on the workshop. But I don't think you can do an authentic Eastern European Soviet city without these statues, so they are a must-have, at least in my opinion. So I spend a good while decorating this area, this Lenin statue, where we use vegetation to mask the lack of detail that I've put down, because that is what I do. I cannot detail to save my life, but I find that if you put vegetation down, it just makes things look better. That's a big cop-out, isn't it? There you go, that's the secret to bad city building. And yeah, I don't know, this area I suppose is a big research facility within the university campus, so I wanted to decorate it with the national flags of Imaginarium. These little street banners are another thing that I've recently just put together as an asset in game. I'm really into Blender and making things at the moment. I'm really enjoying it, and it's really great to see people enjoying some of the buildings we've made. Guvsk Polytechnic, the big building that we've put down there, especially, that was in like the top 10 on City Skylines Workshop, that's mad. I started playing around on Blender like 6 months ago, and the fact that people have supported me enough to put an asset in the top 10, it means a lot to me. So thank you everyone who's supported so far. We use some vanilla assets here. Vanilla assets from the I think it's the Technical University. I don't know if that's the correct name. Oh, it's the Trade School. Trade School. That's the vanilla game name, isn't it? We use some of these buildings to just build out this research centre. They're quite functional in their look. They've got a little bit of a modernist look to it. They're all right. I then use this thing here. This is the former Soviet and now the Russian embassy in Havana. A building I have gone past in real life, and it is incredible. If you imagine Havana, lovely restored colonialized buildings, this classic architecture that is, it's quite pretty. And then towering above the city from wherever you can see this Tetris block of an embassy. It is, I think it's wonderful. It's a wonderful building, and the model that is on the City Skylines Steam Workshop is such a good rendition of it. I cannot for the life of me remember who made it, and I probably should have looked that up beforehand, but it is such a good asset. I love it. And it works here to make this really unique looking, interesting research part of the city. I think you'll agree when you look at the cinematics at the end, it kind of captures the imagination somewhat. And then these buildings here, I realise I've not spoken about them. These are East German kindergartens, actually, by Meister Monis, I think. I come across him on Twitter and on the Steam Workshop. They're wonderful buildings. East German kindergartens. They've got these lovely like sunblinds on them. They're really, really impressive. I love them. But I kind of repurposed them to be office buildings, which is cool. They fit the job, definitely. I guess the next thing for me then was making this area functional. We needed a small car park. Guvsk's main features seem to be car parks, so I had to put something in here, and I do then make this little courtyard. As I say, this is a small section of the university as a start. I really need some inspiration from you, the viewer, on what I can do around this area. I'm struggling with Guvsk because I really want to make something that I don't know if I'm capable of making, because I'm just, I don't know, maybe not that imaginative. So any help you can give would be brill. I don't really know what else should be in this university campus. I'd probably need like some dormitories, that type of thing, but again, finding buildings that are going to be appropriate, I have this horrid feeling that I'm just going to have to sit and make every building for me to be happy with the buildings that I put down. I feel like I'm going to have to make them, and that's annoying, because every building that I think, well, there's a few buildings that I look at and I think I could repurpose them, and I do repurpose them, like the kindergarten repurposed as an office, but there's some buildings that I just look at and they're a little bit too modern, or there's something about them that I don't feel fits. I'm just being a bit too picky. That's my problem. I'm sure people wouldn't mind, but it bothers me. And that's the worst bit. So here we go. This is that last bit that I told you about. We deleted out Lenin. And deleted out the weeds, actually. I decided that if we're going to put down this Karl Marx statue, we would need flowers, because that's nice. I hope you like this model. I love it so much. I think it's just... it really fits. It really fits, especially for an academic area. We already have the picture up of a poster up of Karl Marx on the side of the building, so I kind of feel like making this the Karl Marx Polytechnic University of Guvsk is appropriate. But I love it. I love just how this thing looks. Cinematics are coming up anyway. I won't speak over all the cinematics because, well, let's just try it. Let's just try some nice ambient music and watching the video. But I think, and I hope you'll agree, this statue, it works. It works for a Soviet city anyway. I hope you like it. And if you do like it and you do use it, you can find it on the Steam Workshop. I'll put a link to everything, my Steam Workshop below, so you can look at this and Guvsk Polytechnic if you want it. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do like it, I'd love it if you gave them an upvote. And here's some cinematics for you then. I'll leave you at this point and let you enjoy the last, 6 minutes or so of slow panning across the city. But what I will say is, I as always, I really do appreciate all the support that you guys offer on this series and with just City Skyline in general. Thank you very much. It's nice that this series gets a lot of attention and that it gets a lot of support. It helps me when I'm feeling particularly lacking inspiration for it, which is, at this moment, it's one of those times. So any suggestions of places to look at for universities, I'd really appreciate it. As always, if you like the video, please consider giving it a like down below. And heck, if you like what you're seeing here and you want to see more Soviet city stuff, I put out episodes of Workers and Resources all the time, and that's another series where I'm building buildings for it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please enjoy the cinematics, and I will see you whenever the next one comes out in the next one. Goodbye.